It's not recording everything.
Yes, sir.
And then,
All right, guys, I'll go ahead and start. My name is Ryan Hygic. I'm with Texas United Realty, obviously. I've been a real estate agent since 2004. I was 20 years old when I got my license, so I was super young, and I probably looked like I was 12. People would ask me if I was the real estate agent's son constantly. So that was real fun. Anyway, hopefully I still look young. That's a joke. So I'm on Fernando's team, one of the mentors. Fernando's the head mentor. I'm just in charge of this webinar tonight. I have several mentees under me, but obviously we all are on the same team as mentors with Texas United Realty. We all have meetings together, and we are on the same page as far as helping all the agents with our company. And if you're with United Real Estate, that's obviously great too. We're one and the same. So today's webinar, I'm going to focus on apps you should have on your phone. I'm going to dive into business cards and e-business cards or digital business cards. And then I'm going to kind of do a finisher with dates that are coming up, minor changes in dates. And I'll introduce you to my Facebook page where I'll have my YouTube channel that I actually record videos, and I don't mind if any mentee looks at those. Fernando also has a YouTube channel, YouTube/Fernando. So I'll dive into that a little bit, but first things first, I'm just letting a few people in because it's 8:31. I'll go ahead and talk about, and of course, unmute yourself if you have any questions. I don't mind answering them as we go. I really don't. Again, I've been doing this for 18 years now. And I have been with Texas United for a little over 6 years. So I've done everything from REO, which is foreclosure, short sales, commercial, farm and ranch, you name it, I've done it. So again, reach out to me, friend me on Facebook, Ryan Hygic. It's my Facebook. I don't mind if you friend me, of course. And let me just let a few more people in. And you can see my YouTube channel and my YouTube business page. Ideas that you may have, go ahead and steal them from me. I don't care. We'll get started because I have quite a few things I want to talk about it. But again, I'm a heavy, quick hitter. I want to go over things that are going to matter the most to you in getting leads and staying on top of your clients and presenting yourself as the professional that you are. So a couple things that I have on my phone, which really help me, because of course you're going to have your phone on you all the time. You're not necessarily going to be always in front of your computer. So we'll start off with the digital business card. Where is my, here we go. Sorry, it hid. It's Hi Hello is the app. It's free. A lot of people are shocked by that. If you want certain things on there, it's not free, but I'll show you the app in the free version and I don't pay for it. So it's actually pretty cool. So if a client wants my business card and let's say I'm at Kroger, and by the way, I did meet an old client of mine in Kroger, believe it or not, last weekend. I was picking up some groceries. Hey, Ryan. And I didn't, and of course he knew me because I sold him his house, but I didn't have my business card on me because I don't always keep them in my pocket, and neither are you, let's be frank, but you're always going to have your phone on you. So here's how it works. I've pre-filled out my information. This is the free version. I stress free. That's my Facebook link. And then of course, my logo, Texas United Realty, my email and my phone number. That's pretty much the what you get for free, but it works. So here's how I send it to a client. I'm going to hit the send button, and I'm going to actually, I went ahead and brought that up, and he scanned it with his phone, and he went ahead and got the QR code. If you scan that with your phone, you pull up the camera on your phone and you scan that, you're going to get, it's going to bring up all my information on that using that QR code. Let's say that somehow doesn't work. Well, I'm going to hit send link, and I'm going to go ahead and text it to them. Okay. Pretty cool stuff, or email, or you can email it to them. You can even ask Siri to bring it up and it will bring it up automatically. So that's a great app. It's called Hi Hello, and it's a free app, by the way. And actually, the Texas United Realty logo was already saved in the system. So I didn't even have to upload that. I just had to upload my picture. So we'll go on to the next thing that I like to have on my phone. A lot of people don't know about this. It's called New Home Source. It's right here. It's kind of like a HAR app for new homes. That's the short and sweet version of it. You can actually search nearby homes. Let me log in. Let me see. I thought I was already logged in. It must have kicked me out. It's not saving my password. Let's see if I have it. I think maybe I logged in with Facebook. Sorry, I should have already had it log in, but it was logged in last time. So here we go. So I can do a search, map search. Not sure why it's pulling up Austin, but anyway, it will give you all the new home communities in the area that you're in, or you want to change your area. I don't know why Austin came up. I'm going to allow it to search near my house. There we go. So I live in Katy, so I'm going to expand the radius, and it's going to pop up all the brand new home communities in my area. Okay. So that is a great app because a lot of times HAR.com will not have all the brand new homes in it. I'll kind of touch base on HAR a little bit. Let me let this person in. So HAR, if a new home community doesn't have a member or doesn't sign up for HAR, they're not going to have those brand new homes in HAR.com. So resale homes, yes, 99.9% of people other than for sell by owners, but brand new home communities sometimes will not be on HAR. And sometimes, especially right now with all the competition going for resale, you may have to go ahead and reach out for new homes for your clients. So New Home Source is a great tool. You can expand it out. You can change the location of it, and all the new homes will pop up, and you can even filter it. I use this many times for my clients. And it allowed me to find them a community that they were interested in. So I believe if you hit more, you can filter it down. You can even save things and of course search. So it's a great tool to have. Moving on, right here, Zocam. That's an app that you use. I'll touch a quick basis on this. That's an app, believe it or not. Write that down, Zocam. You can digitally send earnest money to title company if the title company accepts Zocam, which most of them do. I'll touch base on this a little bit here in the top hand corner. I'm not going to log in. I'm just going to hit there because there's a demo video that you can watch on your own time. It explains what Zocam and how to work it. Okay. It's a short video. It's like 2 minutes long. Zocam, again, Zocam sends your earnest money check or your client's earnest money check. Remember, you have 3 calendar days to do so. So it kind of like my Wells Fargo bank, I can digitally deposit my checks instead of driving to Wells Fargo. It's kind of like that. Okay. Moving on. If I'm going too fast, y'all just unmute yourself and tell me to slow down. This is a good app from our title company sponsor, Holly. We've gone over this in meetings that me and Fernando have done in person, but I'll touch base on this real quick. I don't have a lot of time to go over this because there's a lot to this one. But again, download this app, Allegiance Agent One, and you will be very impressed with it. It gives you a buyer and a seller net sheet once you add an address in. You can it will calculate the taxes for you. You don't even have to look up the taxes. And of course, you need the taxes when you're doing the breakdowns. Look, it asked if that's correct. it's gonna ask for an interest rate. So you asked your client if they're selling the house, what their interest rate was. It even estimates their loan balance payoff for you. You can ask them if that's correct, and then you can change it if it's not. But I actually did this with a client 2 days ago, and it was actually accurate, almost to the T. And I actually did this while I was on the phone with them and texted to them while I was on the phone with them.
Her. This is her. This is the woman I set you up with. This is the woman you stood up that night. I was going to meet Elizabeth, and she didn't make it either because.
If you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask. So I'm going to use the estimate, and then it calculates the seller and the seller net sheet. So you would obviously have to know how much you're selling their house for. And then once you hit done and hit compute, it tells you how much they're going to make at closing, and then a breakdown of their closing costs. So pretty cool. Let me move this out the way. You can hit right here. I know this thing's in the way. It says detailed closing costs, and it will give you a breakdown. You can edit the things if you think the recording fee is different or whatnot. Again, this is just an estimate, and you need to stress that, but it's pretty cool. And then hit this button, and you can text it to your client. I actually texted to him while I was on the phone with them. It's loading. It'll load. I'm just gonna see. There it is, and then you just hit this button right here and text it to them. Now you can also do a buyer one. Same thing. Enter the address, and it'll automatically compute the hit add address. Hit the or type in the address. I'm just using a saved address that I've already had. Again, it's going to estimate the taxes for you. And then you need a sales price. So how much are they buying it for? Hit compute. Yes, I want to use the estimated property taxes, or it's either one. You need to find out. You need to look up their property taxes on HAR. Hit done. It's going to give you a breakdown. It's even going to give you a monthly payment and a breakdown. Stress to them that the PMI could be different depending on the lender. It is using a pretty good estimate because, again, down here, it's actually asking, it knows what type of loan it is. So if you change it, for instance, to VA, as you know, if you may not know, doesn't have PMI. You might want to ask your clients who are veterans. We're going to do a class on that on April 23rd. Mark your calendars. A little plug there. April 23rd, Fernando and I'm going to host it, but we're going to be doing an in-person class April 23rd. Ask your mentors about it, about the VA. Not going down a rabbit hole. The VA doesn't have PMI, even if you don't put 20% down, and the system knows that. How cool is that? And then the down payment, you can change that. Let's say the lender isn't having them put or down payment on a VA is done. It knew that. So let's go back to conventional. It's going to automatically preset 10%, but you can change that. Sometimes conventional is 5% down. And then it automatically recalculates based on the 5% down. And then you can change the interest rate.
Yeah.
You can hit detailed closing costs, and you can actually edit the other closing costs. Let's say the survey is more than
I think it's
$400.
like 9, 8:30 or 9.
Did you have a question?
You can just mute them too.
Okay. If you need to, I'm going to mute all. If y'all need to ask a question, just unmute yourself, please, and ask away. So again, you could change the survey. Like, to me, a survey would be more like $600. I mean, you really need to ask for, get a quote on that. But that would be one of the things I would change. And then you could hit done, and I would click for this estimate only, because you want to just change it case by case, right? So then it recalculates it. Anyway, it's really, really cool. I was able to send my client their net. They wanted to know how much they would make. So I said, look, if we sold it for $350, again, I need to do my analysis, but I'm going to give you a quick Boom. I was on the phone with them still and they got it. So that's a very, and it looks very professional. We went over hi, hello. I'm going to go over, what else do I want to go over? I want to go over HAR. Let's see. HAR is, of course, an app you should always have on your phone. It's really cool. It gives you, you can do a nearby home search right there. It's going to bring up everything near where you live, or you could scroll over and go somewhere else. You can click the filter button and you can filter out things like you can click single family. You can filter out the solds and only do actives. You can change the price. You can change the bedrooms. It's pretty cool. I'll pick a random house. Click on the picture. Scroll down. You got all the information right in front of you. So if you're showing houses and a client says, oh, and this happens to be all the time, what about that house? And you're driving and you already got 10 houses that you're showing them and you're trying to be on time, on schedule. Remember, they don't understand that. That's not, you're on a mindset of next house, next house. They're like, ooh, what about that house? Well, I always say, look, we can circle back to that, but we got to finish the list we're at because we're on a time crunch with how I scheduled it. They always understand if you explain it right. But you always want to give them the information that they're requesting. I mean, if they're asking you for it, then you should provide that information. Well, I just do a nearby home search and then I pull it up and it's either pending or it may be pending. That's probably why I already didn't find it for them. But if it's not, you can heart it and you can save it to a folder, tag it as the client's name, and go back to it another day or maybe at the end. Usually what I tell them is, hey, look, if we can't hit it at the end because it might be too late or maybe the seller requires too much notice for showing, then say, look, we can come back tomorrow or this weekend. But you never want to tell them no. So anyway, you scroll down. The cool thing I like about this is you're like, well, I kind of want to see it in the computer format. Hit agent full report. There it is. You could even click attachments right here. And you can pull up all the attachments that are on the file and look at it straight from your phone. Quick, another thing, it's kind of like that Alliance title company app. It's pretty similar. It will you can pull up a mortgage calculator. I caution you that it will pull up P&I and property taxes because HAR obviously knows the property taxes for that property. This is a month, but it's not going to give you the homeowners because every homeowner's insurance is different. It's not even going to give you an estimate, and it's not going to give you the PMI, unlike the other app. Okay. If you want to change it, hit the view calculator. I'll repeat that. Hit the view calculator. Sorry, I forget that y'all can't see what I'm doing on my actual phone. This is plugged into my phone, by the way. Hit the view calculator and more. And then you hit edit. And then you can edit the terms like the interest rate. Sorry, let me let these people in. Hey guys, for just joining. Sorry if y'all were in the waiting room. So I'm just going over the HAR app. And I'm going to change maybe the interest rate to 3.1. I'm going to change the down payment. HAR always does 20% as their standard. 6 or 5% down or 3.5% down. Let me let this person in. So, and then I'm going to hit calculate and it's going to recalculate that. Again, it's not giving me the homeowner's insurance or the PMI. So there's always 4 things with mortgages, right? PITI, if you ever heard that term: principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and PMI. I call it PITIP. 4 things. Remember that. Again, principal and interest, taxes, insurance, and PMI. So let's go to, I believe I'm done with apps on my phone. Of course, there's other sites like realtor.com, things like that. I have my Facebook, obviously, app on my phone because my Facebook page is more geared to my clients because I'm trying to obviously pick up more business. I also, like you, actively sell real estate. Again, I'll do a quick, before I get into business cards, quick hit on, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Ryan Hygic, you can or can't. I'm not trying to make you or anything, obviously. But the cool thing is I have a YouTube channel that actually has training videos on it. Fernando has training on his YouTube channel. These are usually live training that I do as I have to work a client. So it's going to be boots on the ground training. So Fernando has a channel, YouTube/Fernando, Loera. So his last name. And real quick, I also have a business page for my Facebook. You can create that. Fernando's daughter, if you want to send Fernando an email, does Facebook coaching. If you want to, I tell my mentees to go to her. She's a lot more versed in Facebook than I am. I know just enough to get me in trouble. Let's put it that way. But I did create a page. It wasn't that hard. I hit menu and create a page, and I called myself Ryan Real Estate Agent. It's pretty cool. I have several postings on here. Pretty cool stuff. You can follow it if you want to get ideas on what you should do. And of course, follow me on Facebook as well. And you can go ahead and click on my YouTube and watch my channel. Here's my channel. I got about 26 videos, anywhere from getting started. I even explain how an AC works. I had to replace my AC in my house. So I went ahead and explained how that works. I talk about my marketing rules and what you should be doing to get leads. I understand how important that is. Op City leads, a lot of people have questions on that. We went over that in our mentor meeting today, how some agents are saying it's not working for them. Well, I have a video on how it can work for you. Believe it or not, Laura helped me with that meeting, and she's closed $400,000 deals on it. You kind of have to go through the muck and the marsh to get to the promised land. And she talks about that. I do open house training. I have a drone. I show how I utilize that for my business. And then I have an apps on your phone. So you can get a refresher if this just didn't do the trick for you today. Again, you can just find me on Facebook and then click the YouTube. So let's go over the kind of the business card in and how, Ryan, how do I order business cards? And please make it simple for me. I will. And then we'll wrap it up with some question and answers. Scott with Print Force One, he does, I get him to do my business cards. Let me open up his website, ePrintForce. So if you want to write that down, ePrintForce.com. His name is Scott. You pick up the business cards from his home office when you're done. Believe it or not, he gives you the address, and I Venmo'd him for payment. It was as simple as you could do it. I called Scott and I said, I needed business cards. He's already got the Texas United logo saved. He's already got the United Real Estate logo saved, and he's already got the equal housing and things you need on your business card that we'll go over. He's already got it saved in his system. His name is Scott, super friendly guy. He's been to a couple of our agent meetings. You don't need to go to a meeting to contact him. You just send contact and go ahead and get in touch with Scott. Send him a message. There's his details, even his address, where to go pick up the business cards when they're done. Well, Ryan, that's fine and dandy, but I need a professional photo. I'm going to help you with that. She has gone to our meetings before. She's done free photos at our agent meetings. And if you missed it, you're probably going to have to pay for it unless she does it again. But it's not real expensive. I actually got mine for free, so I can't tell you how much. Maybe Fernando can say how much they cost. What, $50, I'm sure, something like that.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Fernando. So take a screenshot of that. She's familiar with our office. And I've had nothing but good people saying good things about her. If you want another suggestion, if that just doesn't, let's see, I printed it off. I saved it to my computer. Hold on just a second. Here we go. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this right here. This is what Alicia from our United Real Estate office has suggested to me. And sorry, I have it in an email format because I email it to my mentees. So take a screenshot of that is all I can tell you, or email me or Facebook message me, and I'll be glad to send that to you. So the cool thing about that, and look, my digital business card is on my email, so they can just click it. So is my YouTube channel, and then your IABS and whatnot. So anyway, so is my Facebook link. You get the picture. So anyway, this is what you want to screenshot. Again, I'll go back to her name is Kimberly, and she does great pictures, by the way. I would highly recommend her. So Ryan, what do I do? Well, Kimberly will email you the picture, and then all you need to do is email that over to Scott at Printforce, and he'll take care of the rest. I hate to say it, but it's that simple. Now let me go and pull up real quick, what he's done for me. I'll show you what he's done for me. He's done several things for me. I will pull up my business card. Yeah, Scott, I sent him my photo, and that's the result I got. Here's a little tip, 18 years of doing this. Get some of the business cards in a magnet, because your client or you, when you're doing the walkthrough with their permission, slap that magnet on the refrigerator. They won't lose it. They also don't lose keychains, which Scott has done for me. Of course, I paid him, but Scott's also done a calendar magnet for me. All of my clients got that this year, 2022. It's a magnet. They're going to slap it on their fridge, and they're going to say, what, Fernando, we did a meeting with all the mentors. I think it's 80% of the people do not reuse their realtor 5 years later. And the reason is because, guess what? They don't remember their name. That's it. It wasn't because they got bad service. It's because they didn't remember their name. So do me a favor and keep a Excel spreadsheet of all your closings. I understand maybe you don't have any, or maybe you only had 5. Well, then easier for you to go ahead and put them in Excel spreadsheet. Do it tonight. Make it one of your goals. I talk about goal setting with my mentees, and I say set one goal a week. Don't set 20, because you're not going to do that. Mount Everest is one step at a time. So make that one of your goals. So anyway, I've got a couple things he's ordered for me. Scott has done all this at Printforce. Scott has literally done all of what I'm about to show you at Printforce, at Printforce 1, which is eprintforce.com. Okay. And that's his number right here. And I'm not plugging Scott. I'm just saying he did a good job, and that's all there is to it. And he already has the logos saved. So it makes your life easier, made my life easier. So there's the keychain I was showing you. One thing that they're probably not going to lose is the keychain. It's also a cool closing gift. Say, hey, here's a keychain for you, and put it on their new keys. He's made this shirt for me. I'm wearing it right now. He's made, these are the calendar magnets that he's made. There's an example. Again, you want to have the realtor, the MLS, and the equal housing sign on all your stuff. And by the way, the Texas United Realty, Fernando can correct me if I'm wrong, but it has to be at least half the size of your contact information. So that,
yes, 50%. Yeah.
50%. And then there's my logos on here. So I'm not missing anything. And Scott knows this. And he gives you a proof before. He did miss it on one of mine, believe it or not. And I proofed it, and I said, Scott, you forgot to add these symbols, the equal housing, the MLS, and the realtor. And he said, oh yeah, my bad. And then he added it. So just proof it. Here's Scott's information. I'll leave it. I'll downsize it and leave it here.
And if you're assigned a mentor, make sure that the mentor approves the business card before you order 500 copies, and then they're missing to be TREC compliant.
Yeah, yes, sir. Good point, Fernando. Good point. So while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple more things, and then we'll go to Q&A. Again, I'll leave Scott's information right here. Again, the question is, Ryan, can I use, what is it called? The other Vistaprint? Yes. Yes, you would just need to go ahead and use Vistaprint. I mean, but they may not have the TUR logo saved and all that. So you would have to upload that. And you would have to ask your mentor for the TUR logo. Okay. So I'm not saying that you don't have to, you can't use anybody else. I'm just trying to make your life easy. Here's what my calendar looks like without flashing it across the Zoom. It's the same thing as this right here. And I'm just trying to show you real life examples. I also have a name tag that Scott, believe it or not, made for me. That's a copy. I got 3 because I like to lose stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then here's an example. I actually, and he can also order your open house signs for you. That's one of my mentees, sorry. And then he could also order your yard signs as well. By the way, Fernando at the office, at the Grant Road office, has some for sale signs if you're in a pinch. Of course, you have to buy them. I think they're $11 a piece. I usually end up doing that because I always get a new listing and I ran out of signs. And I'm like, Fernando, I need to buy another one. By the way, open house signs, you can also get it if you're in a pinch. They won't have your logo on it, but you can buy them at Home Depot. Just FYI. The HAR stores also have open house signs. They won't have your logo on it, but in a pinch, and you, like, let's say you didn't have enough, go to Home Depot and look, they'll have them. I know because I bought them from Home Depot. So again, here's kind of an example of my name tag. I'll show you a real life example if I can find it in my bag. Real life example is right here. It's still in the plastic because I have the one I use in my car mostly. So yard signs, open house signs, car magnets. Magnets is definitely something I would suggest. They just don't tend to lose magnets as much as they do. There was a while there, I was only giving out my business card in a magnet format because people lose business cards and you're hoping they stick this to the refrigerator. I'll go over a couple of dates that I'd like, and then I'll open up for Q&A. April 23rd, I'm hosting a in-person at the title company with Holly at Allegiance Title. I am hosting it. Fernando will be there April 23rd, 10:30 a.m. Your mentor can email you the details or Facebook message me and I'll email you the details. April 23rd, mark your calendar. It's going to be awesome. We're going to go over the VA loans, the appraisal, which is the scary VA appraisal. That's not so scary, by the way. We're going to go over the title policy, title commitment, who pays, how much. Then we're going to go over insurance, flood insurance, and why you should ask for the clue report during your option period or before your option period. A clue report is the the claims history on the house. So also the seller's disclosure asks for any insurance claims history as well, but they don't always remember the seller. For instance, my house that you see behind you. The seller did not disclose to me that they claimed the roof when they replaced the roof in 2020. I bought the house at the end of 2020. That they claimed the insurance on the roof on their insurance. They did not disclose that. And that's a no-no. It should have been on the seller's disclosure and it was not. I found out through my insurance guy. So, and I did not run a clue report on my own house. Shame on me. I found out when I went to get another insurance quote because my insurance went up and I didn't like that. So I reached out and got another quote. So, April 23rd, don't forget. My Facebook, you can just type in Ryan Hygic and follow me. It's the picture of my real estate. You can just follow me and I'll be glad to share any information with you as well as my YouTube channel. Let's see. Oh, we're going to change the Thursday night meetings, Fernando said, to 7 p.m. instead of 8:30. It just seemed like it was kind of late for everybody. So 7 p.m. on Thursdays moving forward. Okay. Those are Thursday nights. Don't forget about accessing your bullseye calendar. Amy can assist you with that. We have training and contracts training as well that you may or may not know about. So I think that's all the announcements. Any questions for me on pretty much anything I can help you with, even if it wasn't related on tonight's subject? Any questions at all?
Hey, Ryan, there's a question in the chat from Grace. It says the one in MLS is not close enough. I don't know. Maybe Grace can elaborate on that question, but she has it in chat.
Grace, can you unmute yourself, or anybody else that may have a question, unmute yourself and ask away. You got to click.
Grace
Yeah.
Foltz, FUL, yes.
Grace,
So
what can I do for you, Grace?
you answered that question for me. You told me that it was the PI, TI, and the PMI insurance.
Yeah,
that is
everybody-
not included in the MLS.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, so you need to be real careful about that. Again, HAR doesn't know the insurance. So what I do is, believe it or not, I get that there's a lot of things you have to do in real estate, but it's part of our job. I will contact or have the client contact their insurance agent and go ahead and get a quote. If they're getting serious about the house, you might as well find out about how much the insurance is, how much, if it's in the flood, they can answer you if it's in the flood plain. And then how much the flood insurance would be, because that would affect their ability to buy the house.
Thank you.
So I call it PITIP. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and PMI. And we all know what PMI is. It's if you don't put 20% down, it's almost like a penalty, if you will. PMI is not insurance, hazard insurance if the house burns down. It is, don't make that mistake. It is premium mortgage insurance. It's to back the lender in case of foreclosure or default. I sold foreclosures for 10 years of my career, Fannie Mae, Freddie Macs, you name it. So if if y'all ever get into that situation where you're selling a foreclosure, there's bank addendums that you have to add in there. And it's not just the contract. So feel free to message me or call me and I'll help you with that. Of course, your mentor can as well, but I'm very familiar with the REO, which is called, it's real estate owned, which is foreclosure.
Any other questions, guys?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan, do you have a suggestion about how many business cards someone should have?
I ordered quite a few. I think Scott gave me, I think Scott pretty much gave me like a package deal if you order so many. I think I ordered 250. I ordered another 200 magnet cards, and then I ordered, it was cheaper for the bigger, these, since they're bigger and they're at full magnet, to order 400 of them. So I went ahead and did that. These were close to like, I think they were, don't catch me not saying the right thing, but I remember they were close to 80 cents per. But again, I was willing to do that because a client is not willing, most likely unwilling to throw this away. It's got a calendar on it. They're most likely going to stick that to the refrigerator. Do you know, I mailed those out. I was a little late in the year. I tried to do it around end of the year. I didn't do it, but about a month ago, I got busy, but I've already gotten 3 calls on that.
Yeah, I have a story. Yeah, I have a story where I used to mail them out in November.
Yes, sir.
And there was one time where I was delayed, and this elderly lady who I helped buy a house and then sell a house, she moved to Hempstead. She called me and she goes, "I have a bone to pick with you." I said, yes, ma'am. What can I help you with? She goes, where's my calendar? And I went, it should be in the mail. I just was delayed.
Well,
But it's like these people, after a while, they get used to receiving a calendar from you. They might not buy a house or do a transaction with you, but guess who they're telling their friends and family about you?
correct. So,
It just becomes a
so
habit.
after 18 years, and Fernando can say, and Amy can even back me up, a lot of it, it will get easier with time, because a lot of it is you won't have the questions you have now. I'm trying to just usher you into the fact that it just gets easier. Okay. And then your clients will call you more because it's like a tree. You start out with one client, and then they might tell their brother about you, and then you'll do another deal, and then they give you somebody, and they give you somebody, and they give you somebody. After a while, it's going to be less about marketing and more about just doing the real estate, which obviously is what you want. You don't want to forget about your past clients, because that's your bread and butter. Those are the people that have a relationship with you. You want to keep that relationship. And like Fernando said, you want to stay in front of them, because honestly, I can't remember the last plumber that I used, but if he sent me a magnet, I would put it on my refrigerator. So again, the importance of that Excel spreadsheet, because you want to put it in there as you close on your deals. And then it's just a click of a button to send it to to a labeler, right? Stick it on there. I covered it because I don't want y'all, obviously, my client's information being seen, but it's just stick a labeler, stick it on the envelope, stick the card in there, the magnet in there. I didn't even stick anything else in there. I just did this. And guys, these are 3 leads. I'm not talking about cold leads, and I'm not even talking about lukewarm leads. I'm talking about, I just got 3 leads from this that are going to sell or buy. And they're past clients of mine, so they're loyal. So you're like, well, people aren't loyal. I understand that some people aren't if they're an arm's length away, but if they're your past clients, they're loyal. I'll tell you that right now, they are. So my main focus is my past clients. And then I also focus on, I call it 30 for 30. I focus on the immediate area where I live in, but I don't just send them one mail out. Send them 30. I'd rather you send a smaller group 30 times a farming campaign than 1,000 homes once, because it's like Nike. You remember that check mark because they've hit you over and over and over upside the head with it. So they know what they're doing. You want to pick I pick 30 homes in my neighborhood that I send a mailing campaign or a door knocker on every month. Well, why not 500, Ryan? Well, if you have the budget for that, I mean, as long as you're consistent, that's what I'm trying to talk about. It's a lot harder to be consistent with 500 homes than it is 30. Again, this is just my idea. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
Eventually, will I grow that 30? Yes, but you got to start somewhere.
Any other questions, guys?
Hope I'm giving y'all some good marketing
I
pointers.
have one.
Go ahead.
Does will any of you be able to give us maybe a little class on REOs and bank foreclosures
I can.
Yeah.
and how to deal with those?
Yeah, we can do another one. I had done one. This is Fernando. I had done one on HUD homes, but it's probably already old. I think I did it 2 years ago, and it was regarding working with investors and HUD homes. But I think Ryan, I think it's time to probably revamp that because it's probably too old now, and probably the screens look different. But yeah, Ryan and I will note that to put that as a topic for a refresher, how to work with REOs, short sales, and also HUD homes. I usually call that topic distressed properties.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Distressed means, I guess the word is the play one, but yeah, I dealt with short sales for a while, and with that, the bank doesn't own it yet. It's going into
Exactly.
foreclosure. So you got to be a little more empathetic. Is that the word? Because these people are losing their house, and they're not making, well, back then they weren't making any money on the house because we were in a different market. They were losing money, but the short meanings, it's not a short progress. Believe me, that there's nothing short about a short sale. The short means the bank is taking the short or the loss.
Right.
And you have to get the bank to approve that. Once it's in the foreclosure status, believe it or not, it's actually easier to sell than a short sale because the bank's already approved the price they're going to sell it for. And it's just a matter of, and you submit the offer like you would any other resale home. After the offer gets accepted, the bank then sends their own addendums, which is, we call them bank addendums. And oftentimes it's crazy, but it overrides a lot of the TREC contracts, but their lawyers draw it up. So you just got to carefully go over that with your client. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they each have their own. And then you can still do inspections. People are like, well, I can't even do an inspection. Yes, you can. You can do a TREC inspection. They're not going to fix anything, but that doesn't mean you can't back out. Usually they only give you like 5 or 7 days to back out though.
Right.
And then the loan is done just like any other loan. The bank is just not going to do any repairs and they're not going to renegotiate. Take that back. I got Fannie Mae, or was it Freddie Mac, to renegotiate a handful of times out of the hundreds of foreclosures I've sold. So I shouldn't say never, but it's rare.
Yeah, and I think FHA has, I don't know if they still offer this. I think we need to confirm with the lender, but there's a FHA 203B and the FHA 203K. And the 203K allows you to do an estimate on the repairs and then roll it into a mortgage. And that's the 203K. But I don't know if that's being offered or not. So that's something that we can talk about that during that. Yeah. I already wrote a note on here if 203K still exists.
So speaking of that, when you're selling foreclosures, if y'all want to, if you have to leave to go do something else, that's fine. I'm just staying on for Q&A. If you're selling foreclosures, I actually have a YouTube video on it. Things you should have in your car, and a keychain magnet is sorry, not magnet, but keychain flashlight. When you're selling foreclosures, oftentimes there is no electricity, just FYI.
Yep.
So I get it. You might have a flashlight in your car, and that's great. I have like 3 in my car, but odds are you're not going to put them in your pocket till it's too, you're already at the door fumbling with the super key. So this is called a Surefire. You can get it on Amazon for $30. And it's bright. It's super bright. It would light up this whole room if I turned off the lights.
Yeah, things that I carry is a little hammer, a screwdriver, WD-40, and a flashlight, and also a rain jacket, because sometimes you're caught off. When you're out there in the wilderness and it's storming, no electricity, and you can't unlock the lockbox. At least you have the WD-40 that can help you pry it open.
And my
And they have those little cans of WD-40. They're real tiny, and those are good. Those are the ones I carry with me.
Yeah. So Fernando, my foreclosure days, man. I mean, I ran into it all. Stuck lock boxes.
Yep.
Loose dog in the backyard. I ran into squatters, believe it or not. I mean, I ran into everything. I ran into a house where they stole the commode. Somebody broke in and stole the commodes, believe it or not. I don't know why you'd want a toilet, but they did. But I have a YouTube. It's not. I should recategorize this, but it's right here. This is one of my mentees, so I can use him. But sorry, Clint. But under this, it says ordering open house signs and what to have in your car when showing. And I go over everything that I have in my car when I'm showing houses. So I think someone was about to ask a question. Go ahead, whoever it was.
It's Grace Foltz again. I thought of 2 other things. I'm not sure if maybe I missed it because I got disconnected, but I also have Dot Loop on my phone and Mile IQ.
Dot Loop and
Mile IQ.
what is the second one? I know what Dot Loop is, obviously. What's the second one?
It tracks your car miles.
Oh, cool.
I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not either.
I'm just familiar with Dot Loop.
Can you spell out that mileage tracker? I'd like to write that down.
It's a Mile, MILE, then IQ, I think.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's real good as realtors to keep track of all your miles when you're showing houses and and doing making appointments to keep track of that, and then talk to your accountant, your tax advisor. So like that, it's a business expense. I think they're paying 54 cents a mile. Any other questions? Okay. I think in the chat, everybody's saying thank you to you, right? So
Oh, okay. I need to look at the
great,
chat.
great information. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you.
Yes, you're all very welcome, of course, anytime, and well noted about that REO class.
Sleep with angels.
We'll add it in there. Thank you, Karen.
I'll stay on another minute or two. If anybody has
Yeah,
got any
make sure
questions.
you stop the recording too, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.